The chief astrologer placed his finger on his nose in wonder. A baby rarely 10 days old opens its lips in speech. Not only that, it also raises intelligent questions. Incredible. Rather like the bulletins issued by the War Office than facts. The chief astrologer took his finger off his nose and fixed his eyes upon the little prince. Now, whenever we are surprised, then we make some gestures that show how surprised we are. So, in the case of the chief astrologer, he placed his finger on his nose in wonder. And what was the wonder? What was he so stupefied about? That a baby which was barely 10 days old could open its lips to speak. In speech means to speak. And not only that, it was not just speaking, just anything. The baby was raising intelligent questions. And it was incredible. Means immensely great. Now, and how was it? And he was so crisp and clear about it, just like the bulletin boards of a war office. Very crisp and clear and matter of fact. So he was very clear about what he had to ask. So this is what was surprising the chief astrologer. So he took off his finger from his nose and looked intently at the little prince and said, "The prince was born in the hour of the bull. The bull and the tiger are enemies. Therefore, death comes from the tiger," he explained. So now he is going beyond, further in his astrology and in telling about what the future holds. Initially, he had just said that one day this great warrior will die, this child who will be a great warrior will die one day. And questioned by the little child that what nature, how will I die? To that, the chief astrologer, answers that since he was born in the hour of the bull, and the bull and tiger are supposed to be enemies, therefore, this little baby's death, this little baby who will become to know, who we get to know as the Tiger King later, will come to death at the hands of a tiger. You may think that Crown Prince Jung Bahadur was thrown into a quake when he heard the word tiger. Quake means that he started getting scared, shaking, trembling. That the writer says that you must be thinking, he's telling the readers that you must be thinking that when the little boy, the little Jung Bahadur, heard that he would be killed by a tiger, he would be thrown into a lot of scared condition, quake. That was exactly what did not happen. As soon as he heard it pronounced, heard what pronounced? The name tiger, the word tiger. As soon as he heard it pronounced, the crown prince gave a deep growl. Terrifying words emerged from his lips. So, growl, an angry sound. He made an angry sound, and terrifying words emerged, means he spoke certain words which were terrifying. And what were they? Let tigers beware. He says, now, this is a warning for the tigers. Let them be careful. This account is only a rumor, rife in Pratibandhapuram. Rife means going around. This account means all that I have told you about the birth and about the astrologers saying what they said, and then that the little boy, the little infant of 10 days old, also saying what he said, is only a rumor going around in Pratibandhapuram. But with hindsight, we may conclude it was based on some truth. With hindsight means with a little more knowledge. When the writer will tell us more about what happened with Tiger King, we may conclude, we may come to a conclusion that There must be some truth in this rumor. Crown Prince Jung Jung Bahadur grew taller and stronger day by day. So, as he grew up, he grew taller and stronger. No other miracle marked his childhood days apart from the event already described. So, as he was growing up, nothing happened, nothing that could be talked of happened in his growing up days other than the time when he was infant, a 10-day-old little infant. The boy drank the milk of an English cow, was brought up by an English nanny, tutored in English by an English man, saw nothing but English films, exactly as the crown princes of all the other Indian states did. So these lines here just tell how this royal child was being reared. So just like other princes were being reared in other states, that is exactly how he was being brought up. And with all the things, you all can make a note of these things: English cow, English nanny, tutored in English, saw only English films. When he came of age at 20, the state, which had been with the court of wards until then, came into his hands. This means that when he was not of age, means he was not of the right age. His court, his state was in the hands of other ministers. So when he came of age means when he came of the right age, which was 20, the state came to him. All the work of the states, of his state, came in his hands. Until then, the other ministers were handling all the work. But everyone in the kingdom remembered the astrologer's prediction. Now, all these people, all the royal people, the ministers, and everyone, they remembered what the astrologer had predicted when this Tiger King was a little boy. Many continued to discuss the matter. Slowly, it came to the Maharaja's ears. There were innumerable forests in the Pratibandhapuram state. They had tigers in them. The Maharaja knew the old saying, you may kill even a cow in self defense. So he obviously would not have known what the astrologers had predicted unless he would have heard it. As a little infant of 10 days old, he had questioned the astrologers, but obviously he wouldn't remember. But since this incident was over and again talked of, so it also reached the Maharaja's ears and he heard about it. Now, this Pratibandhapuram state had innumerable, many, uncountable forests, many forests. So, and these forests had tigers also. And Maharaja, when he heard that he is going to die at the hands of a tiger, and then he also knew this old saying that you may kill even a cow in self defense. So he's just justifying that a saying says that even if your life is threatened by a cow, you can kill it. So he's just justifying that if my life is at threat in the hands of a tiger, then why not kill it? So he is. Let us see what he's going to do next. There could certainly be no objection to killing tigers in self defense. Now, just before this, the Maharaja said that killing a cow in self defense is also okay. So he says that no one should have any objection to killing tigers in self defense. The Maharaja started out on a tiger hunt. So he started looking for tigers. The Maharaja was thrilled beyond measure when he killed his first tiger. Thrilled beyond measure, he was extremely happy. He sent for the state astrologer and showed him the dead beast. So he sent for means he called the state astrologer and showed him the dead tiger, the dead beast. What do you say now? He demanded. Your Majesty may kill 99. So the tiger said, the Tiger King said, what do you say now? And what is the answer that he gets from the state astrologer? You may kill 99 tigers in exactly the same manner, but, and again he's quiet, the state astrologer. The astrologer drawled, means spoke slowly, because he did not have the courage to continue. But what? Speak without fear, the Tiger King said. So the state astrologer continued. But you must be very careful with the 100th tiger. So here he gets to know that he may go on killing 99 tigers in the very manner that he killed the first one. But the tiger that he has to be careful of is the 100th tiger. What if the 100th tiger were also killed? Then I will tear up all my books on astrology, set fire to them, and, and I shall cut off my tuft, crop my hair short, and become an insurance agent. The astrologer finished on an incoherent note. Why incoherent note? Because he is trying to prove his point. He is trying he wants to tell the Tiger King that the astrology cannot go wrong. So he says, when the Tiger King says, what if I kill the 100th also? Then he says, the straight astrologer says that, then I will tear up all my books on astrology, set fire to them, means burn them. And I shall also cut off my tuft. Tuft is that short, the little hair on top of the head at the back, what all such astrologers have. I'll cut off my tuft, crop my hair short, and become an insurance agent. It means that I'm going to leave the work of astrologer if my if this thing goes wrong. So he says, you better be careful. The 100th tiger is the one that you have to be careful of. Now, from that day onwards, it was celebration time for all the tigers inhabiting Pratibandhapuram. The state banned tiger hunting by anyone except the Maharaja. Now, why was it celebration time for all the tigers inhabiting Pratibandhapuram? Initially, earlier, there was no problem with hunting those days. Anyone could go and hunt anything. It's these days that we have rules and hunting is banned, especially tiger hunting. It is a crime these days. But those days, anyone could go, and it was a very, very favorite sport of many people. But what happened? When Maharaja Dhiraj, he realized that he has to kill the tigers to save his life, and 100 tigers for that matter. So he banned hunting of tigers by anyone except himself. Now, this was the reason that all the tigers were celebrating. From that day onwards, it was celebration time for all the tigers inhabiting Pratibandhapuram. Inhabiting means living in the state of Pratibandhapuram, because now no one was allowed to kill tigers, so they were celebrating. And only the Tiger King would be killing. So Tiger King obviously wouldn't kill 100 tigers in a day. So it was celebration time for them. A proclamation was issued to the effect that if anyone dared to fling so much as a stone at a tiger, all his wealth and property would be confiscated. A proclamation means it was proclaimed, it was told to everyone. A notice was issued to everyone that no one was supposed to harm any tiger, not even as much as dare to fling a stone at a tiger. If anyone would do anything like that, all his wealth and property would be confiscated, means taken away lawfully. The Maharaja vowed he would attend to all other matters only after killing the 100 tigers. Now, vowed means he took a vow, he took an oath that he would not attend any other matter, nothing else. For a king, there are so many things that a king has to attend to. So many things. Matters of the people, matters of the state, matters of neighboring states and countries. But he vowed that until he kills all 100 tigers, he would not attend to any other work, any other matter. Initially, the king seemed well set to realize his ambition. Realize means to be able to complete, fulfill his ambition. Initially, in the beginning, the king seemed well set, in good condition and all proper state to be able to fulfill his ambition. Not that he faced no dangers. It was not that he never faced any danger. There were times that were dangerous. There were times when the bullet missed its mark. The tiger leapt upon him and he fought the beast with his bare hands. So there were moments when the danger was, he had to face the dangerous conditions where he had to fight the beast, the tiger, with his bare hands, means without any arms and ammunitions.